Hello, race fans. We've got a special episode this week because it is Downhill Southeast Windrock Race Week. We've got the race weekend coming up June 28th through 30th, and we've got Logan Mulally here from Downhill Southeast to get us prepped for what we can expect this weekend. Logan, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Thank you guys for getting this all together, getting this going, get people the information they need going into the weekend. And yeah, we're looking forward to a great weekend. Haven't usually done Windrock this late in the year, so we're really looking forward to it. The guys have done a lot of good work up there, and yeah, ready for a good weekend.
Well, what I failed to mention in your intro, Logan, is you are a one-time winner of Downhill Southeast, so I got to throw that out there in your credentials. You've got a long list of them, but Downhill Southeast Pro Race winner, certainly one of them from Macedon.
I remember that. It must have been 2017 or 18. I was still living in Pennsylvania at the time, so I only did a few of the more northern Downhill Southeast races in the early days. But yeah, good times, fun venue. It's cool to still go there. I'm pretty sure that track that we raced that year was almost the same as what we race now, and it's cool to see how everything progresses and still going back to the same places.
Well, speaking of hitting these classic Southeast venues, Windrock is the only venue that we've been to each of the 9 seasons of Downhill Southeast, so 2024 being our 9th season racing. And we've actually had 10 total races at Windrock, Logan, because we went back-to-back in 2020 with a doubleheader at Windrock during the COVID year.
That's right. Yeah, it's been really cool to be able to say we've been to Windrock every year since the beginning of Downhill Southeast. That year in 2020 during COVID, nobody really knew what was going to happen even the next week. So it was really cool to be able to go to Windrock a few times and keep the racing going that year. I think that was really a good year for us. We got a lot of new people into it, and a lot of those people who started racing in 2020 are still doing it now. So it's cool to be able to have that at Windrock, and cool to still go to Windrock and just embrace what Windrock is. It's one of the best venues for racing in the Southeast, for downhill for sure. They have a lot of big events there every year. So yeah, it's an honor to be able to go back there for us each year.
And Windrock continues to progress. Over the past decade, it's just been incredible to see that park change and kind of lead the way for the rising tide of downhill in the United States. And there's been a bunch of recent additions that were unveiled earlier this year at the Tennessee National. And Logan, I assume that a lot of that, the new base area, that's going to be kind of the base camp for registration and where folks can expect to kind of start their weekend. Tell us a little bit about the setup when folks get to Windrock and where they can go to get their packets picked up and get set up for the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Now that Aaron Gwynn's got the park, those guys have done a ton of new work to the place. It looks so nice. They have a really nice new bike shop. It's in a bit of a different location. So when you drive into Windrock, before you get to the old general store, you're going to make a right. There's some signs that'll point you over there to get to the new bike shop area. But it's a cool new zone. They got a really big parking lot. They have a new bike shop. And we're going to have our registration trailer parked just right in front of the new bike shop. And we're going to have everybody for the pits in the bigger parking lot that's just across the stream. So it's going to be first come, first serve, no paid pits. But everybody, when they're setting up their pits for the weekend, is going to set up on the other side of the small stream. The smaller parking lot in front is just going to be for us, for medical, and for the employees. And then we're going to do all the shuttle pickup, obviously, right at their new shuttle pickup zone, which is just a short ride over from their new shop setup. And we're going to do the finish line area in the same spot that it's always been, kind of up towards where the bottom of the Red Bull Ravine is. And we're going to do podiums up there as well, so we can continue to do them during the race. But all the information you guys need, our registration trailer, packet pickup, is all going to be at the new base area there.
Nice. And you literally answered the next questions I was going to ask about shuttles and about the finish line. And I just think it's such a great finish area. And it's even better now that the shuttle pickup or the bike shop and stuff isn't there at the finish line. So that entire zone is now, available for spectators. I think it just creates a really cool finish bowl and a great viewing experience for parents and fans. So if you guys want to see all the action, then you'll have a great viewing spot right there at the finish line.
Yeah, that's right. The new finish line area. allows for a lot more space for exactly what you said. A lot of spectating. There's no shuttle turnaround in there anymore, so that whole zone, that whole gravel parking lot there can be just for spectating. And the new shuttle turnaround is also super nice. It's covered in trees. There's a bit of a breeze always coming off the hill. It's not very hot down there. We were just there the other day, and it was really warm out, but it felt super nice. So they did a great job with the new shuttle turnaround, and like you said, kind of separating it leaves for a lot more space.
Well, there's been a lot of work happening up on the track the past couple weeks, and typical Windrock fashion, with the new crew, and like a lot of Aaron's ambitious plans, they've embarked on some more ambitious plans, leading right up until the race weekend, and we'll touch a little bit on those new jumps in a minute. But they're bringing back a classic racetrack. It's going to use a lot of the Snake Rock trail, but it has some new flavor to it, Logan. This track it's been a great track. It's typically around like 2 minutes 45 seconds to a little over 3 minutes for the faster pro men's times. And yeah, we got some cool things in store for the Pro Cat 1 track. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's right. I was actually just up there yesterday looking at all the new stuff they've been working on with Aaron. And for the Pro Cat 1 track, we're going to run the start of what they did for the Tennessee National. So it's going to go straight out of the start gate, cross over Talladega. Instead of turning down onto Talladega like it did for the Tennessee National, it's going to cross straight over to go into Snake Rock. That first flat rock garden on Snake Rock, they kind of filled in a few of the holes, made it flow a little bit better, but it's definitely still a bit of a technical tight area. And it's going to go from that bit of Snake Rock turned down into the bottom of Caveman. So it's a track that has been, for the most part, used before at a downhill southeast race, but they're going to tape it a little bit off. They're going to widen the turns a little bit or cut a few inside. So even riding it with most of the track being kind of within the same area that it has been the past few years for downhill southeast, the whole track feels almost completely new, which is really cool. And then for the Cat 2-3 track, they're going to continue down Snake Rock. They've done a lot of work on that recently too, filled in a lot of holes, made it a lot wider. It's basically the same general path that it was last year, but almost completely reworked. So two great tracks coming at us. And yeah, like I said, even though they're pretty similar to what they have been last year, they feel almost brand new.
And Snake Rock's always been one of my favorite trails, just to ride there at Windrock. You get some steep chutes, but you also get plenty of areas where you can control your speed. And I think that's what's key for the Cat 2-3 riders. You know, Windrock obviously has terrain that can be unrelentingly steep, and you almost feel like you can't slow down, but that's not really the character of the Snake Rock Trail. You still get some technical steep bits, but then you hit bench cuts and you hit areas where you can slow down and kind of decide how fast you want to enter those steep sections.
Yeah, I think you absolutely nailed it there. It's not too easy of a track. It's not a flow trail. It gives everybody kind of what they're looking for with a little bit of technical, but it's manageable. It's a little bit wider than it has been, so makes it a little bit safer if you're looking just kind of for an easier line. And yeah, it's a great way to get into racing at that more entry level. Gives you a little bit of what you're going to see once you move up to Cat 1, but not unmanageable for sure.
Well, we got to touch on some of the stuff I've seen on Instagram over the past week, and that's some new jumps popping up towards the bottom of the hill at Windrock. And I was texting a little bit with Aaron Gwynn yesterday. We're actually trying to have him on the podcast, but he's been so busy. I was like, you know what, dude, just keep doing your thing. Keep your head down digging in the woods. But it sounds like they're back up there working today. What kind of information do you have on that new bottom section, Logan? Does it look like it might be running in time for the weekend?
Man, they've been working really hard up there. It looks nice. It looks like it's going to ride great. It's wide. It's safe. It looks like it's really well built. It's basically going to jump over the bottom of, I guess it would be Talladega, or kind of a few trails come together there. It's going to have a bridge that goes over that. They're going to fill in that new drop. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it on social media. It's built out of trees, all natural looking. It's really cool. They're going to build a bridge roll down from that, so you don't actually have to ever leave the ground if you don't want to. And then from there, it goes into a pretty big hip. I think just for the racing, we're going to kind of tape off the hip so you can't really hit it. It's definitely an awesome flowy feature, and it's going to be great once a jump trail's running. But for racing, it trying to go really fast seems like it might get a bit out of hand. So We're going to run people around that. And then from there to the bottom, it's going to turn back up into what always was the Red Bull Ravine. It's going to go down the big rock drop, the long and low step up into the left turn and down the Red Bull drop. And then off the Red Bull whip jump that they always use. So the whole bottom section looks like it's going to be a little bit wider than it used to be, a little bit more forgiving. It always used to be very precise, but pretty much the same layout that it always was. Um, yeah, it looks great. We're really hoping they can get it done. There's been a little bit of bad weather here the last few days, which has slowed them down. So they're up there working, seems like day and night to get this ready for us. So yeah, we're hoping they can get it ready by this weekend.
That's awesome. And I can kind of tell where that drop is on the hill. Like you said, it kind of comes over Talladega and where some other trails come together. But how far above the old Whoop section is that drop?
So for anybody who's been there when the whoops used to be there used to be a bridge that was the Talladega Bridge that went over. Um, I guess it would have been. I guess Talladega maybe have gone under the bridge, and that bridge went over Talladega and went into one of the other trails that was there at some point. But anyway, it's just above, a few hundred yards above that corner on the paved road where the whoops used to be. So
Okay.
basically, you'd land that drop, and then if the whoops were still there, the next feature would have been the whoops.
Yeah, such a fun section of track. And I know Gwen had his eye on bringing that back after it was taken out with that catastrophic flood. So, yeah, it just adds another element to the track because it's a big, fast, I mean, dare I say, kind of like World Cup style jump section. You know, you're just carrying pace. And you have to carry pace to hit all those features. But, yeah, they were always really well built. And it's going to look really good on that replay video. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that section's going to look good. It's going to be fast. It's going to be pretty big jumps. It's just like you said, it kind of reminds me of what you see at a World Cup, that kind of at the bottom of the hill, they always try to make it pretty high speed, good for viewing, big jumps, but something that you still have to really pay attention to. It's not just the end of the run and kind of a run into the finish. You still have to really be on it. There's still time to be made or lost there. So those features are always cool, just for something different as you progress down the hill.
The biggest question on my mind, though, is will the final jump still backflip? Because it went pretty good back in the day.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do. That jump was always kind of a staple of Windrock, right? It's right in the parking lot. Everybody sees it. It's the last big jump, whether you're trying to just race it. And I know at some point, a lot of those guys were jumping off the side of it a little bit to get a bit more speed, or you're just going to jump straight off the lip, do a big whip, whatever. It's always a really cool feature. So I'm excited to see what they do. I know in the most recent storm, the bridge just below that got kind of pushed down, so they got to. I don't know if they're going to rebuild it or pull the bridge back up to where it was, clean that all up, and yeah, whatever they do will be good. Those guys are good at making things super fun, super safe, wide, good for viewing. So we're looking forward to see how they clean that area up.
It's a big weekend on the job for these racers. So I want to talk a little bit about the schedule. And we've got the standard schedule. It's available at any time, downhillsoutheast.com/ race schedule. If you go to the little hamburger menu, there's an option just to click on race schedule, and it lays out all the practice times, how your groups are broken up, A and B. But Logan, let's start from track walk. Let's start on Thursday. Are folks able to get down the track on Thursday, or should they plan on walking it after their practice on Friday?
Yeah, so with the new Windrock schedule, whether there's a race week or not, they're closed on Tuesday and Wednesday and open Thursday through the weekend, or through Monday actually. So they're open just to the public on Thursday. If anybody's coming in early and they want to ride, they can get a ticket. The two racetracks will be closed, but the rest of the park will be open. And then track walk is available on Thursday as well. And then Friday through the weekend, the park will just be open to racers. Which will be good for the lift lines, kind of keep everybody rolling on pretty smoothly. The lift's already there, the shuttle's already pretty quick there anyway. So, yeah, Thursday track walk is all good.
Nice. And then any other changes to the schedule folks should be aware of, or are we kind of sticking with the schedule that seemed to work really well with Group A practice and then Group B C combined? A in the morning on Friday, B in the afternoon, and then of course we have seating on Saturday, race day Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be the exact same schedule. We had to make a small change to it for the previous round 3 at Snowshoe. We couldn't get the lifts open early enough on Friday practice, But for this weekend, everything's going to be exactly what it has been at the first two races. And start at the A group starts at 8 a.m. each day, and the B C group combined just to follow, and then seating in the afternoon on Saturday and race after all the practices are done on Sunday. So just the tried and true schedule that we've been using for this year and some of last year, and yeah, no changes for this race.
Well, you know that I'm involved in the race replay show, so I'm always interested to see how that production will shape up over the weekend. And I've really enjoyed, being able to follow all these racers and get to see their race runs and just see how folks progress this year. And Logan, I want to talk a little bit about the fields that I saw in the pre-reg, and I was looking through the pro women. And one thing that I noted is we got a pretty high chance of seeing a new winner here in the pro women with all of the young women that have risen up to the pro ranks. Our series overall leader, Xana Logar, she's already got one win this year. She's got 132 points. Her sister, Raina Logar, right behind her with 127, and Delaney Stoll with 124 points. So these are all young ladies that are 16 and under. And I think the only potential previous winner at Windrock that could be in the field is Shell Peugeot. I don't know if she's going to hightail it back from, I think she was just in Idaho to come back to Tennessee. I hadn't heard if she's going to be there yet, but she'd be the only one that could kind of continue to carry the torch as a previous winner.
Yeah, you're right. Those young girls that are on Gravity Academy are absolutely ripping this year. It's so cool to watch them progress over the last few seasons. And for how young they are and the amount of race maturity they have, it's really fun to watch. Um, they've been to Windrock a few times. I think they raced even the Tennessee National and the XC at the Tennessee National this year, so they're familiar with the area. They ride a lot. They're very talented, and yeah, who knows with Rachel, right? She's pretty far away right now, but wouldn't surprise me if she decides to pull, 36-hour drive straight just to get back for the race. She's done it before, and this kind of probably feels like a bit of her home race these days since she's been hanging out here. So wouldn't surprise me at all if she made the trip back.
Yeah, she took the win last year at Downhill Southeast. And yeah, if you look back through the years of the Downhill Southeast races at Windrock, it's a really prestigious winners list. We've got Frida Ronning on here a few times. Actually, she went 4 in a row from 2016 to 2018. We had Yolanda Neff in 2019. Not bad company to be in. And then Caroline Washam on that winners list, along with Caitlin Farmer and Shell Peugeot. So we'll see who else can add their name to that list. We've got a lot of those new contenders, like I just mentioned. Also, Manny Santa Marina, another young rider that's bumped up to pro. So, yeah, it should be real fun. And hopefully we see these young girls in our pro class for many years to come.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be surprising to see them all kind of taking over that pro category soon. Like you said, a lot of them are young, they're very mature, and we're ready for that next wave of fast women here in the Southeast.
And it's the same story for the pro men's class too, Logan. We will absolutely 100% see a new winner at Windrock Downhill Southeast because if you look at the previous winners, Isaac Leifson, what up, Isaac? He's across the pond, so won't be Isaac. Max Morgan, I don't know if he's coming down from Vermont. But I didn't see him on the pre-reg list. Dakota Norton, pretty sure he's ripping it up in the Alps right now. Charlie Harrison's out overlanding out in California. So, and Nico obviously is over in Europe as well. So unless Aaron Gwynn decides to tow it up for the start line, I don't think we'll have any previous winners in the men's field. I know Aaron's on the downhill bike, but probably a little farther away than putting down a race run this weekend. Unless, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right. I rode a few laps with him yesterday on the downhill bike. He's just getting back into it, but hard to put it past that guy. If anybody's gonna kind of come back and make uh, a debut race at Windrock, it would be him, right? It's his park now. He's got his new bike, his new team, a lot of new parts on his bike, and I'm sure he's super excited to get back on the bike. But yeah, just looking through the list here, there's 2 race winners that we've had already this year, 2 really young guys, Colin Bork and Chris Liebig. They're signed up. Can't put it past those guys. They've been going fast this year. They are eager to show what they can do. and both of them were at the previous Windrock races this year, so they kind of know what to expect. But there's a lot of locals here. There's a lot of really fast guys signed up for the race, so it'll be really cool to watch the pro men's field.
Yeah, and I know Titus Nicholson will be looking to join his teammates in the winner's circle this year at Downhill Southeast. He's our points leader coming into the race with 118 points. Just got pipped by Colin at Snowshoe. So, yeah, if there's any place that Titus feels comfortable, it's definitely Windrock.
You're right. He spends a lot of time down here. We see him pretty often cruising around the park, and he's been putting in some work. He wants that win too. He wants to get up there with his other Defiant teammates. There's also Cole Suetos, another local. He's one of the trail crew now on the same team. He's super talented, so it'll be a good battle between all those guys to see who can do it. I think there's a little bit more to it than just a Downhill Southeast race now that a lot of them are either working at Windrock or local. So there's a bit more rivalry going on with that. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
Can't wait to see it unfold. And of course, everyone at home can catch the replay on Downhill Southeast YouTube channel. Thanks to our friends and partners at SRAM for making that replay show happen. The Gravity Cooperative crew will be out there in full force capturing the action, and yeah, looking forward to seeing some new camera angles of these fresh sections and hopefully some big jumps at the bottom. And yeah, we'll have all that coverage for you. Logan, if you had to put your money on it, who do you think our two winners are this weekend?
Man, that's a hard one, huh? I would have to say one of the Logars in the women's category. That Gravity Academy program is really good, and they're super nice. I'd love to see them continue doing well. And in the pro category, I always want to see someone new just to keep it fresh, keep it exciting. I'd love to see one of the locals take it. So it's hard to say. There's probably 4 or 5 people that you could say this person's going to take it, but it'll be cool. It'll be good to see what happens. Looks like really good weather. Should be pretty consistent for the weekend, so it'll be a fair race for everybody, and it'll be fun. See who can do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Xana Logar. I think I don't think she was real happy with crashing in her race run at Snowshoe, and she is the points leader, and so I could see some momentum from Xana building here at this Windrock round. So I'm gonna go Xana Logar for my women's winner, and I'm gonna go Cole Sweetos for the men's winner. I don't think he was too happy with the performance at Snowshoe either, and he's such a consistent rider. I went back and watched the replay from Tennessee National earlier this year on Windrock's YouTube page last night, and yeah, Cole had a great run at that race with a stacked field. So I got my money on Cole for this one. Go get him.
Yeah, perfect. Hard to beat those two picks. Like you said, it'll be cool to just watch the replay, see all the lines from everybody, see how everybody's doing, see how the track gets kind of burned in through the weekend. With a lot of fresh sections, it's not as straightforward as it sometimes is when it's, just a kind of hard packed, baked in track. So it'll be cool. I think there'll be some good line options. It won't just be who can go the fastest. There's going to be some racecraft in here. So that's always an exciting weekend. And yeah, be awesome to watch the replay on just after the race and see how everybody did.
Well, Logan, I'm going to let you get back to it. It's a big race week for you, getting everything prepped. Thanks to you and the Downhill Southeast crew for just putting together this top quality experience and everything that you guys provide for the racers, for the families, and the folks that will be enjoying the event this weekend. So thanks, man. Hope you guys have a smooth one.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Always good to put these out just before the race, get people kind of interested and make sure they know everything that's going on. Thank you to Gravity Co-op and all you guys for killing it with the race replays. It's super fun, even for us to watch, for us putting on the race. We don't really see what's going on. We're at the top of the hill or looking at the timing all during the race. So it's cool to come back and watch that. Feels like we're watching a race we haven't been to. So it's awesome to see that. And thanks to all our partners. Thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to the Windrock crew. Love how easy this one is for us, and all of our partners make these events super streamlined and smooth for us these last few years. So looking forward to a great kind of tail end of the season. And if anybody has any questions, come let us know. Send us a message on social media or send us an email, and we'll make sure everybody knows what's going on for the weekend.
Yeah, and congratulations for the 10th Downhill Southeast at Windrock. So that's a big milestone. Can't believe it's here. Everyone, go grab a couple cold ones at Swifties. if the Atomic Bar is still there for me.
That's right. It's under a new name. It's called Okies now, but it's still there. It's still ready for everybody. And yeah, cool town, cool area. Awesome to be there for 10 races. That's kind of crazy to say that we've made it far enough to be anywhere 10 times. So looking forward to 10 more.
Cheers to that, Logan. Thanks, man. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Will. Have a good weekend too. We'll see you soon.